Before we get started, I just wanted to tell you guys that over the weekend, a subscriber by the name of Jay hit me up and asked for prayers. So basically, Jay is a loving soul that is going through a very serious treatment. I ask that you send prayers and positive energy in the comment section to Jay if you feel it in your heart. Okay? I promised Jay I wouldn't give too much information, but Jay will be reading the comment section. All right? Thanks, guys. All right, guys, it's me. It's QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody who might like it as well. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section and stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read positive comments that some of you have read, that some of you have left from previous videos. If you want to get a reading done with me, excellent idea. Hit me up on social media. All of my information is underneath this video. If you want to become a patron on Patreon, I'd be eternally grateful. That's underneath this video. If you want to send me a gift through my Amazon wish list or a donation to the channel, all of that information is underneath this video. All right, so this is for my Cancers. Every so often, like I say at least once a week, maybe more, a Cancer hits me up and says to me, I am so sorry about Voldemort. I hear this all the time, and I want Cancers out there to know that I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, it's not necessary for you to apologize for another person, but Cancers are so sweet that they would think of something like that. You know, they're like, I'm so sorry you ran into one of those. I'm like, yeah, me too, you know. But I really appreciate that. And I do not dislike Cancers. Hashtag not all Cancers are Voldemort, okay? I have had some difficulties with them with two different ones. But I'm never the kind of person who is going to shun another person for something that somebody else did when I was making bad decisions, okay? So that is not your fault. If you're a Cancer, remember, I judge each one on the one, all right? So thank you so much to my Cancers. So one of my Cancers sent me a message and wants to know what I think about this question. It's a two-part question. The first part is, can you do a video on how an Aquarius views Cancers? Specifically, on what they need to do to be light Cancer. A light Cancer is a positive Cancer, basically. And avoid dark Cancer behaviors, which would be negative behaviors. All right, so this is the first part of the question. So basically, if a Cancer wants to stay light, which a lot of people do. A lot of people want to be good people. They want to be positive. If you want to be that Cancer, stay away from stalking behavior. Now, mind you, I know if you're looking at me now thinking, I'm a Cancer and I don't stalk, I'm thinking good. That's what's up. Because guess what? Some of your peers do stalk and they think that it's okay. They might not stalk to hurt people, because I asked the Cancer about this. I used to date this Cancer and I said to her, why were you stalking me? Because she was like looking at my page, leaving me messages. I had her blocked on everything. She made up another profile just to be able to send me messages that I also blocked. And I said to her after, like, it was like a year later, I talked to her and I was like, why were you doing that? And she was like, dog, I was just going through something. Emotionally, I was just going through something. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was upset. So I don't think these behaviors are necessarily to harm you, but it's creepy when somebody is stalking you. And what I mean by stalking is following you physically, showing up at your home or at your job, because I've had this happen to me, Also, the computer stalking, what I call it. So that means they're like going to your page every day, or sending you messages after you've already blocked them, creating fake accounts to talk to you and pretend to be another person. How many times has Voldemort done that to me? So so those are the kind of behaviors that cancers, hashtag not all cancers, will do. So stay away from that. Stay away from that stalking. The other thing, stay away from emotional manipulation. Cancers are really good with emotional intelligence sometimes. Some of them are the exact opposite. But the ones that are good with it are very good at emotionally and mentally manipulating other people. A lot of lies, a lot of deception, a lot of smoke and mirrors. Stay away from all of that. Just be your authentic self. And if people don't like who you are, then those aren't your people. So many cancers I know spend so much time trying to make people like them. If people don't like you, those are not your people. Fuck those people. Okay? Give them the finger, and be like, no, do not do that. Don't change yourself, hide yourself, pretend. Cancers have this tendency to live whole, like, different lives. Like, they'll be presenting one life to people and they're living a whole different life. Don't do that. Be yourself. Be authentic, because that is going to end up driving you crazy or making you a very deceptive person. Stay away from deception. So these are the things, emotional manipulation, stalking behaviors, those are things that most people will complain about when dealing with a cancer. Another thing that happens with cancers that's very dark is they try to fucking emotionally destroy you. Like, after you're not fucking with them anymore, they will continuously say things about or to you to try to destroy you. Like, leave people alone. If you have been in something and they ain't fucking with you, or you ain't fucking with them no more, just leave them alone. Just leave it alone. All the emotional behaviors and all that stuff is just not good, because in their positive form, cancers are sweet, like the ones who hit me up and say I'm sorry. In their positive form, they're really sweet. The other thing that they do that's not so much dark, but I'm gonna give it honorable mention, is clingy. Oh my God. Aquarius can be clingy too. I told y'all that last week. But cancers, I find myself, not even just the ones I've dated, but even just ones who I'm friendly with, I find like they cling, and I'll be like, yo, come on now. Like, I'm Aquarius. Like, you can't be. One thing that they do, they contact me all the time. I have cancer friends and we're very cool. And this isn't all of them, because some of them are totally not like this. Like the one female I'm thinking about, she be in a wed. But there's certain ones who will constantly be hitting me up. And it's like, oh my God, it's such a cling, and it becomes uncomfortable for an Aquarius. So don't be overly clingy. Assume that people have things to do. Okay? Assume that. And I say this about you, but Aquarius have this problem too. Assume that people have things to do. If you're a clingy person of any sun sign, hit people up, give love, look out for them, but assume that they don't want to talk all day. Okay? All day is a tad bit much. All right, so that's the first part of the question. The second part says, also, if you could give your opinion on why Aquarius and Cancers can be so extremely drawn to each other, even though they aren't always compatible. I don't understand it myself, but I would like your opinion. Well, I agree with you with that too, because we don't usually work out. But I'm going to tell you something. Aquarius and Cancer, what connects us is the water. Aquarius is an air sign. Cancer is a water sign. But Aquarius is the water bearer. Okay? This is very important. Because what it means to bear water, to have water, water in some cases is emotion. So we got it in our jar, carefully contained. In the Cancer, the water sign, the crab, is very proficient with water. So what does this mean? This means they can help us. They can help teach us how to be more emotionally expressive, emotionally sensitive, and emotionally intelligent. Cancers can help us in that way. So oftentimes when I'm drawn to a Cancer, that's what I'm drawn to. I'm drawn to that emotional energy. And The problem is that if it's a good person, a positive person, that's perfect. You can be drawn to that energy and they can teach you how to be expressive and it's all good. But if it's a negative Cancer, they're going to use that shit against you. They're going to get all your information. They're going to get all up in your head and in your heart and get all of that and then use it to twist your mind around like a carousel. Okay? That's what they do. So you have to be careful who you allow in you like that. But Aquarius do like that. We're looking for a meaningful connection. So Cancers offer that meaningful connection. But the problem is, if they're dark or negative, you can't trust them. You can't trust anybody who's dark or negative. I don't care what their sun sign is. So that's a big issue. Now, on the flip side, what attracts a Cancer to an Aquarius? There's, what is that? What is that energy? I think, again, it's the water. I think they pick up on the emotional energy. They pick up on the fact that Aquarius want a meaningful relationship. So the times when it does work, because it usually doesn't work, because Aquarius and Cancer have so many similarities. If Aquarius and Cancer can focus on their similarities and not focus on their differences, then they can make it. All you got to do with the differences is know that they're present, number one. But number two, talk about the differences. Teach each other your differences. Like one of my Cancers said that she admired that I was really good at detaching myself from nonsense that had nothing to do with me. I'm very good at that. If I see people in some bullshit, I'm quick to detach and keep it moving. And she always gets sucked into it. So her thing was learning from me how not to get sucked into other people's drama. Okay. And I'm learning from her how to be more emotionally expressive. Now, the last Cancer I dated was a woman. And she didn't use my emotions against me. She was emotionally manipulative, though, because she had a little bit of that going on. Not a lot of it, though. And her thing was trying to get me to do as she wanted based on tugging at my heartstrings, So I didn't mind it as much because it wasn't malicious, but it's still not a good idea. You shouldn't tug on people's heartstrings to get them to do the things that you want them to do. But I think that people of all signs really do that. So I kind of gave her a pass on that. Plus, it was so obvious what she was doing. So like I said before, I think that is what draws Aquarius and Cancer. It's the water. Remember, there is oxygen in water. What is oxygen? Air. Aquarius, the air sign. Cancer, like I said before, the water sign. So this, to me, I feel like is the connection. There's oxygen right there. So, like I said before, the problem is that too many of us get caught up on the differences. And the other thing is they both have to be healthy, because an unhealthy Aquarius with an unhealthy Cancer is a recipe for disaster. And I find this to be true in any relationship. If both people are spiritually, mentally, and emotionally healthy, they have a much better chance of the relationship going well. But especially in this particular case, because if you have an unhealthy Aquarius and an unhealthy Cancer, they're going to engage in unhealthy behaviors, mind games, all kind of stuff like that is going to happen. Like I said before with the Cancer, gaslighting. The Aquarius may get aggressive or manipulative in their own right. So this is a combination that I think is drawn for good reason, but doesn't always end well. Okay. I would date a Cancer. I would date anybody of any sun sign. There isn't one sun sign that I would never date again. Seriously. But I just know because I've studied them, so I know what the pitfalls are. And this is my thing to you. You can date any sign that you want to. You just need to know how to deal with that sign. If you understand how to deal with them, you understand the similarities, you understand the differences, and you understand how to get around them. You can date anybody you want. I often hear people talk about compatibility. Yes, if your charts are compatible, it'll be much easier. But it's not impossible if the charts aren't compatible. It just means that you're going to have to put more work into it. And nowadays, nobody wants to work at anything. I'm like, oh, come on. So that's one of those things we got to work at. All right, that's my shit. Here's our first positive comment. The person's name is That's My Shit. I like that. Good name. So this person said, the end of this retrograde couldn't come quick enough. Uh-oh. The ex decides to swing back after 11 years after I've raised our children. Imagine that. Now you want to come back. And only to cause the chaos in my peace. Swerve. Yeah, no. There's only one ex that I actually speak to. She's a Taurus. And there's an ex entanglement that I talk to, a Libra. The rest of them, I don't talk to at all. They exes for a reason. If they wanted to have conversations, they should have acted like they had some damn sense when they had me. Lily, what's up, Lily? Lily said, Queen, you're going to make people want the fever. I did a video about my fever dreams. 3 videos about my fever dreams. And this is what she's talking about. You're going to make people want the fever. But wait, not even in the dream will your mind fuck with Voldemort. In the dream, in one of the dreams, Voldemort was in the dream. And in the dream, I was escaping him. And I thought that was so funny. I'm like, I'm always escaping this person. Like, what is going on? Hysterical. All right, guys, that was our last one. You guys come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.